Have you ever heard of a place where death has no name? Where time doesn't pass, yet life continues in a strange, beautiful loop. In the deepest part of the world, untouched by any road or map, there is a village where no one dies, as long as they follow one simple rule: never ask a question. The story begins with a traveler, a boy barely grown into manhood, named Komari. He lived in a dusty little town near the edge of an old forest, one so thick and silent that even hunters avoided it. But Komari was not like the others. He had always been a curious soul. He wanted to know the things others ignored. While other children asked how to find food or build traps, Komari asked why the stars blinked or where the wind went when it disappeared. Elders often told him to hush his tongue, for some truths were better left alone. One night, as the sky turned blood orange with a strange sunset, Komari sat by his grandfather's fire, listening to a tale told only once every generation. His grandfather, Edwo, spoke of a traveler he once met on a stormy night. The man was soaked, his feet cracked and bleeding, but his face calm. He spoke of a place called Okuta. A hidden village. A paradise. No death, no sickness, no war. People lived in perfect harmony. But they did not speak. No greetings. No farewells. No questions. Why not? Komari had asked that night. His grandfather only stared into the fire, voice low and serious. Because in Okuta, asking is death. That should have been the end of it. But the story planted a seed in Komari's mind, and curiosity is a dangerous thing once it begins to grow. Weeks passed, then months, and Komari found himself drawn to the edge of the forest. Each day he wandered a little farther, until one morning, before the rooster crowed, he packed food and water, tied a leather charm around his neck, and slipped into the forest alone. The trees swallowed him like a secret. Hours passed. Then days. The forest twisted unnaturally. He could never tell if he was going in circles or forward. He saw strange things, birds that whispered like people, branches that moved when he wasn't looking, rivers that ran uphill. But his determination burned bright. On the seventh day, as mist curled around his feet and silence pressed against his ears, he found it. A giant stone arch stood between two crooked baobab trees. The arch had carvings worn by time, but one word remained clear, almost glowing: silence. Beyond the arch lay a village that seemed to float on stillness. Golden-roofed huts stood in perfect order. The sky above it never dimmed. Children played without laughter. Women cooked without chatter. Elders sat without humming old songs. Everyone smiled. Everyone was calm. But no one spoke. Not one sound escaped their lips. They welcomed him without a word, offering food with open hands and gestures. He was given a small hut by the river, a mat, clothing, and peace. At first, it was beautiful. Peaceful. Komari had never known such stillness. No arguments. No fear. Just quiet routine and gentle kindness. He stayed. Days turned to weeks. He began to notice something odd: the sun always rose in the same place and never moved far across the sky. The same flowers bloomed each day. The same old man always sat under the same tree with the same unmoving expression. Time was trapped here, like a beetle in amber. But the most disturbing part: no one aged. A child he met on his first day remained the same height, wore the same clothes, and played the same game weeks later. A woman cooking by a fire repeated the exact same movements every single day. No one changed. No one grew. No one ever seemed tired or hungry or upset. Komari tried to ignore it. Maybe it was his imagination. Maybe this village simply moved slower than the world outside. But his mind wouldn't rest. He tried to write a question in the dirt: where am I? A little girl saw it and screamed, though not with her mouth. Her eyes widened, her hand slapped over his, and she wiped the word away with frantic motion. She shook her head wildly, tears in her eyes, and ran away. That night, Komari sat by the river and thought. What was this place, really? Was it a gift? Or a prison dressed as paradise? Why was silence law? What would happen if someone broke it? He promised himself he wouldn't. But curiosity doesn't honor promises. One night, under a sky full of silver stars, the villagers gathered in the center of Okuto for what seemed like a celebration. A circle was formed. Drums were placed at the center. But no one beat them. Instead, the villagers danced silently, swaying gently to a rhythm only they seemed to hear. Komari stood at the edge, heart pounding. He couldn't take it anymore. The mystery gnawed at his mind like termites in wood. He stepped forward, raised his voice, and asked, "Why does no one speak in this village?" The silence shattered. The sky blackened instantly, clouds rolling in unnaturally fast. The wind screamed like a grieving mother. The ground shook. Villagers froze mid-dance. Their faces turned slowly toward Komari. Smiles gone. Eyes glowing white. One by one, they began to fade. Not die. Just fade, like drawings erased from memory. Komari backed away, horrified. The huts around him crumbled into sand. The river hissed into mist. The stars flickered and blinked out. Darkness swallowed the village. A voice echoed from beneath the earth. It was ancient. Cold. Not human. A question has been asked. Komari screamed, tried to run, but the ground split beneath him. 1,000 hands reached from the void, grasping at his limbs. The last thing he saw was the stone arch above, cracking and collapsing in silence. Then, nothing. No sound. No breath. No Komari. Morning came. The forest was still. Where once stood the village of Okuto, now there was only an empty field, scattered with white feathers and ash. But deep within the forest, when the moon is full and the owls cry thrice, some say the village returns, just for one night. Silent. Beautiful. Perfect. And if you find it, remember this. Do not ask anything. Do not speak. Do not wonder. Because once you ask, you'll vanish too. Just like Komari. And the village will continue. As it always has. Quiet. Eternal. Forgotten. If you've listened this far, then perhaps your curiosity is strong too. But be careful where it takes you. Some places are not meant to be understood. Thank you for walking through this tale with us. If you want more stories like this, deep, dark, and unforgettable, subscribe to Timeless Tales Africa. New legends rise every week. But remember, never ask the wrong question.